Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is doing fine. I want to talk about something that's been in the news lately about education. And education is under attack right now here in the United States. And and there's different reasons for that. You can ask just about anybody, and they would give you a variety of reasons why. But to me, it all boils down to they are tired of the leftists teaching history the way they are. Because the leftist is a Democratic Party that is made up of a diverse group of people. And you look at the Republican side, it's basically white people. And they feel like their narrative is not being taught. Their history, the way they see it, is not being taught. So they really want to change how history is being taught and how people are looking at the white uh, way of thinking and their whiteness. They believe is being targeted. They think that history is making the white people look bad, like you don't see, like you don't have eyes. And I was reading this book called The Enemy Within. You need to get it. It's on the picture. On the picture of this book, it is a few of the Democrats, like Obama, AOC, um, them, and it's really they're really focusing on the Democrats on their crimes of passion. And they brought up how what is okay, they are making the Democrats look like anti-American creed. You know how Trump keeps saying, I think they hate America. Why would anybody say that without any proof? It wasn't Democrats that was attacking the Capitol building, actually killing police officers and harming them and trying to and putting up a rope to hang Mike Pence. And all the people that are being shot and killed are mostly Trump supporters. Propaganda at its finest. But so what they're doing in the schools is they are trying to convince people that the curriculum in American public and private schools are geared at communist um, atrocities, and that the academic studies promote belief that races and genders are not biologically grounded but socially constructed. They want us to think that, okay, I kind of somewhat agree that they don't really hate the black and brown people because they black and brown people. They really actually hate them because of jealousy. They're jealous of their achievements, they're jealous of their features, of their abilities, of their um, strong will, and their culture. They don't want to admit it, but white people did not have any culture. They stole everybody else's culture and lied and said it was theirs. And um, all ethnic and gender oriented academic fields are subjecting people to suppression. Because, see, when you start studying Black people, uh, their history and their achievements, they feel like white people are going to feel like less than. It makes white people feel uncomfortable because their feelings are so twisted and they're so full of guilt because of all the ugliness they have done throughout history. They are the only ones that bombed people, killed 150,000 people in one day, and caused so much pain and suffering out through the world. Um, Now they got this in here about this Jeff Hitchcock. He's an executive director of the Center of the Study of White American Culture. And at the Third National Conference in 1998, he said, "There's no crime that whiteness has not committed against the people of color. There's no crime. There's no crime that we have not committed, even against ourselves. We must blame whiteness for the continuing patterns today that deny the rights of those outside of whiteness and which damage and pervert the humanity of those of us within." This is what they want to be taught. White people have created a civilization that abolished slavery and gave minorities populations unprecedented opportunities, afforded women equal rights, and set standards of civil behavior to benefit all. That's what they want to be taught. And just down there in Florida, they had it where they would be teaching that Black people benefited from slavery. They want to leave out the part of all the atrocities that was done in that course of things. We're supposed to be happy that you set us free. We're supposed to be happy that you gave us rights. Really? And we're supposed to be foolish enough to think that you can teach anybody civil behavior? Oh my goodness. Now, in this whiteness, see, that's what they want to teach in school. Whiteness is forever the greatness and the goodness that has been established in this country. Now, listen to this. It goes on to say, what began in the 1970s as a racist movement directed against whites by fringe leftists in the academy has now become a central organization theme of the progressive left, the leadership of the Democratic Party. That's why they are always so fast to say, look at those Democratic ran cities. They are pitiful. They are even got black folks thinking that the Democrat Party is the problem of the Democratic ran cities. No, 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 no. Now, of course, policies does have a lot to do with how people and where people live, but it has nothing to do with how people treat one another. But that's what whiteness wants you to feel. And they always want us to don't look at the red states. Don't look at the even in the red states, the black people are worse off. They don't want us to want us to really say that out loud. But the South, where most of the red states are, how do black people know? And they think that the people that support the Democrats are looking at the country wrong. That's why they are trying to change everything about this, the way this country operates. They want to put it on a path because they feel like it was taken off a path in the 70s where the civil rights was going around and yeah, I guess these racist groups like the Black Panthers or something like that. Um, and then the Democratic Party started electing diverse people. And they really, I start seeing a change in the education system. Uh, in the late 80s, from when I was going to school in the 70s, they took away a lot of opportunities. They got rid of a lot of things that was really helping us. Okay, the history books got smaller and smaller. Um, and then and when the President Obama was elected, they're going to say it was secured by a white majorities. Oh, you black people didn't elect him; the white people did. And then here they is talking about a oppressive curriculum. They are really mad. That's why they're trying to get rid of the state radio station, NPR, any kind of rand state, because they say that the left is saying too much. They are getting in our business. And they sound too much like anti white. There are many. Now they say are cutting staff. How do you cut staff in the educational system when you should be getting more staff? Schools need to be expanded. First, they started closing up schools. Then they start putting the uh, the elementary school with the high school. How do you do that? How do you have a school with 13-year-olds going to school with 18-year-olds? They're setting us up. I tell you, because when I put my kids in school in Cleveland, I went to that school and I'm like, oh my god, what the world? I'm seeing boys walking around with mustaches and stuff. I'm like, what? They had the junior high and the high school kids going to school together. That is a recipe for disaster. And then they cut the budgets. And I noticed too that the way schools was treating the parents wasn't getting involved with the schools. And now they don't have PTA no more. Whereas the parents and the teachers would get together in an auditorium and discuss things. They don't do that anymore. We are in trouble. So I am telling everyone to start reading. You're not getting the whole story because this is what they do. They hold back and put it in a book. You're not getting the real story on the news. And this is what they're telling people. Okay, I'm gonna end with this. They're not tolerating white people being uh, made to feel uncomfortable because of their past. They're tired of this white privilege because they really want people to believe that black people are just in the shape they're in now because they're inferior. I mean, not that they're inferior, is that because they don't want to do better. And they describe, and they feel like the left is trying to say that this racism is systematic. They don't want, and that is dangerous. And you know why it's dangerous? Because thinking like that got us Trump again in the White House. Even though I believe they cheated, but they was only able to get away with that because you had people that voted and support his um, actions. Now they are okay with him having a authority given to people to snatch people up and put them in concentration camps and treat them like garbage. But if this go further, we would never have another decent president or decent people in Congress again. Because in order to keep people down, they have to get down in the dirt too. And we already see what that leads to. So we're going to have to rise up, get strong in the head, in the mind, stay sober, and help one another.